Women over 65 are experiencing the most powerful orgasms of their lives, and science finally explains why. I'm about to reveal 5 shocking facts your doctor has never shared about why intimate pleasure actually improves with age. The third fact completely changed how patients changed, and it's something most medical professionals still don't discuss. Stay with me, because understanding these neurological changes could completely transform your intimate life, whether you're in your 60s, 70s, or beyond. Before we dive in, for over 2 decades, studying women's health and sexuality shows wellness across all life stages. And there's a conversation we're not having enough: how intimacy evolves and can actually improve as we age. Society has fed us this narrative that sexual pleasure peaks in our youth and then gradually declines. I'm here to tell you that's simply not true. The research tells a completely different story, especially for women over 65. In fact, a recent study from the University of Michigan found that 61% of women over 65 reported greater sexual satisfaction than in their younger years. Yet most healthcare providers never discuss this with their older patients. Today, I'm going to share 5 evidence-based facts about why women in their 60s, 70s, and beyond are experiencing more powerful orgasms than ever before. I'll explain the neurological, psychological, and physiological reasons behind this phenomenon, and provide practical advice for enhancing your intimate experiences. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why this stage of life can be your most sexually fulfilling yet, and how to embrace these natural changes to experience deeper pleasure than you may have thought possible. Fact number 1. Neurological sensitivity actually increases. The first fact might surprise you, especially if you've noticed other sensations diminishing with age. Have you ever wondered why certain touches feel more intense now than they did years ago? There's a fascinating neurological reason for this that most doctors never mention. As we age, our nervous system undergoes subtle changes. While some nerve endings become less sensitive, others, particularly those in erogenous zones, actually become more responsive to stimulation. This happens because of something called neural pruning. Throughout our lives, our brains constantly reorganize neural pathways. As we age, our brains actually prioritize pleasure pathways that have been consistently used and enjoyed. Dr. Candace Pert, a neuroscientist who revolutionized our understanding of the mind-body connection, discovered that pleasure receptors become more concentrated and efficient over time. It's as if your body's pleasure map becomes more detailed and responsive with experience. What does this mean practically? Areas that have brought you pleasure throughout your life become more sensitive, not less. This is why many women report that clitoral and vaginal sensations actually intensify after 65. One of the clients, Martha, not her real name, was shocked when she experienced her first multiple orgasm at 68. "I thought something was wrong with me," she told me. "I had no idea this was normal and even expected at my age." This increased sensitivity means that gentler, more focused stimulation often works better than the more vigorous approaches that might have been preferred in younger years. It's not about working harder, it's about working smarter with your body's natural changes. Fact number 2. Decreased inhibitions lead to fuller experiences. The second fact explains why many women describe feeling more sexually free after 65 than at any other point in their lives. Think back to your younger years. How much time did you spend worrying about how your body looked during intimate moments? Or whether you were making the right sounds or movements? Or what your partner was thinking about your performance? One of the most liberating aspects of aging is the natural decrease in social inhibitions. Research from the University of California found that as we age, the brain's anxiety centers become less reactive, while our ability to stay present in pleasurable moments actually increases. This neurological shift coincides with a psychological one. By the time we reach our 60s and beyond, most women have developed a level of self-acceptance that was unimaginable in their younger years. As Gloria, a 72-year-old participant in one of my workshops, put it, "In my 30s, I was too busy worrying about the cellulite on my thighs to actually enjoy sex. Now I couldn't care less what I look like. I'm completely focused on how I feel." This decreased self-consciousness creates a powerful feedback loop. When you're fully present and not distracted by insecurities, your body responds more intensely to pleasure. You notice sensations you might have missed before. You communicate more openly about what feels good. The result? Orgasms that aren't just physically stronger but emotionally richer and more satisfying. Fact number 3. The hormone pleasure connection. most doctors miss. Now for the third fact, the one that completely changed how I counsel my patients, and that most medical professionals still don't discuss. There's a surprising hormonal shift after menopause that actually enhances sexual pleasure in ways most doctors never explain. While estrogen levels decrease after menopause, the ratio of testosterone to estrogen actually increases. This subtle but important shift can significantly impact your sexual response. Here's what your doctor probably hasn't told you. This hormonal recalibration often leads to an increased focus on physical pleasure rather than emotional connection during intimacy. Many women report feeling more assertive about their sexual needs and more focused on their own physical satisfaction. Dr. Rosemary Basson, a leading researcher in female sexuality, discovered that this hormonal shift often coincides with a move from what she calls a responsive desire pattern to a more spontaneous one. In other words, many women who previously needed emotional connection before physical desire now experience more direct physical arousal. This explains why many women in their 60s and beyond report experiencing more intense, focused orgasms than in their younger years. The physical sensations become more central to the experience. Janet, a 67-year-old widow who started dating again after 40 years of marriage, told me, "I was shocked to discover I'm more physically responsive now than I ever was with my husband. I thought it was just the excitement of someone new, but now I understand there are actual hormonal reasons for these intense feelings." Understanding this shift can help you embrace and work with these natural changes rather than fighting against them or feeling confused by new patterns of arousal. Fact number 4. Experience and communication create better techniques. The fourth fact focuses on something we rarely acknowledge: the power of accumulated experience and improved communication skills. By the time you've reached your 60s, you've likely accumulated decades of intimate knowledge about your own body. You know what works for you and what doesn't. You've learned which touches, pressures, and rhythms bring you the most pleasure. Research from the Kinsey Institute shows that women who can clearly communicate their preferences experience up to 30% more orgasms than those who cannot. And guess which age group scores highest on sexual communication skills? Women over 65. This combination of self-knowledge and communication ability creates a powerful foundation for pleasure. You're no longer guessing or hoping your partner will figure things out. You can guide the experience with confidence. Additionally, many women in this age group report feeling more comfortable introducing aids and enhancements into their intimate lives. Whether it's lubricants specifically designed for older women's bodies, vibrators that provide focused stimulation, or even position modifications that accommodate changing bodies, these practical solutions can significantly enhance pleasure. Elizabeth, an 81-year-old participant in my research, shared, "I never would have dreamed of buying a vibrator in my 40s. What would people think? Now I have a collection, and I know exactly which one works best for different types of pleasure. It's liberating." This willingness to adapt and enhance the experience with tools and techniques specifically suited to your current body, rather than trying to recreate experiences from your youth. A key factor in the improved orgasmic experiences many women report. Fact number 5. Emotional security enhances physical response. The fifth and final fact connects the emotional wisdom of age with physical pleasure in a way that's rarely discussed. By the time we reach our 60s and beyond, most of us have weathered life's major storms. We've experienced loss, change, growth, and resilience. This emotional maturity creates a foundation of security that directly enhances physical pleasure. Neuroscientists have discovered that feelings of safety and security actually increase blood flow to the genitals and enhance the body's ability to experience pleasure. When the brain's threat detection system is quiet, the pleasure centers can fully activate. Dr. Emily Nagoski, a leading sex researcher, calls this removing the brakes on your sexual response system. And women over 65 often have fewer brakes engaged than at any other life stage. This explains why many women in long-term relationships report that their sexual satisfaction actually increases after decades together. The deep trust and emotional security they've built creates the perfect neurological environment for intense physical pleasure. But this isn't limited to those in long-term relationships. Single women in this age group often report a level of self-sufficiency and emotional stability that creates the same effect. They know themselves, trust themselves, and feel secure in their own skin. Margaret, a 75-year-old widow, shared, After my husband died, I thought that part of my life was over. But once I worked through my grief, I discovered a new relationship with my own body. The orgasms I experience now, even by myself, are more powerful than anything I felt when I was younger and more insecure. This emotional security, whether with a partner or on your own, creates the perfect conditions for your body's natural pleasure responses to fully activate. We've covered 5 remarkable facts about why women over 65 often experience the most powerful orgasms of their lives. 1. Neurological sensitivity actually increases in key areas. 2. Decreased inhibitions lead to fuller, more present experiences. 3. Postmenopausal hormonal shifts enhance physical pleasure. 4. Decades of experience and improved communication create better techniques. 5. Emotional security provides the perfect foundation for physical response. These changes aren't anomalies or happy accidents, they're your body's natural evolution. The increased pleasure many women experience after 65 isn't happening despite age, but because of it. Yet our culture rarely celebrates or even acknowledges this aspect of aging. Instead of recognizing this stage as potentially the most sexually fulfilling of a woman's life, we're fed images and messages suggesting that sexual pleasure belongs only to the young. It's time to change that narrative. The wisdom, self-knowledge, and neurological changes that come with age create the perfect conditions for profound physical pleasure. This isn't just good news, it's information every woman deserves to have as she moves through life stages. I encourage you to embrace these natural changes, to communicate openly with healthcare providers and partners about your experiences, and to approach this stage of life with curiosity and optimism about the pleasures it can bring. If you found this information valuable, please consider subscribing to my channel for more evidence-based discussions about women's health and wellness across all life stages. And finally, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Has your experience of pleasure changed as you've gotten older? What questions do you have about sexual wellness after 65? Share in the comments below. Or if you prefer privacy, you can reach out through the contact information in my profile. Thank you for joining me for this important conversation. Remember, the best may truly be yet to come.